Welcome, everybody, to USC Sports Stadium as Nothing But Net Media, the Stream Team Australia, the Australian Sports Network, and, of course, Basketball Queensland present another QBL Game of the Week featuring the University of Sunshine Coast, Rip City, taking on the Sunshine Coast Phoenix. I'm John Guarn. I'm joined by Dave Derwin and Regan Baker. Guys, we have a huge game here on our hands. This has finals implications. At the moment, Phoenix sit in the 8th spot, half a game ahead of the Rip. Rip need to get this win to put themselves in the 8. This is going to be a huge one. And on top of that, this is the Sunshine Coast rivalry. We got a packed house. This should be a cracking game.
It's the Battle of the Beach, Johnny. As you can see, the surfboards I've brought up to the table tonight.
We're going with that one again?
Again.
Okay, all right.
Just if you watch the women, it's the same joke, but it's okay. No, it'll be a terrific game. I mean, just down there talking to BA, talking about how excited he is. He says this is going to be a cracking game because, as you say, they both really need to get a win to either sneak in the 8 or stay in the 8. And, this time of the season, you've got to get the wins. This is when it matters. And for both teams, they're still, like we talked about off air, there's still a couple injuries and the Phoenix group still coming together a little bit with guys been in and out a lot of the season. So I think for the Rip fans, they're hoping that their continuity will get them home tonight.
Yeah, this is the second matchup of the teams. It was in round 1 that they last faced, and it was a Phoenix win, 77-65, so a low-scoring affair. I think both of these teams have really started to round into form. Obviously, rosters have settled a little bit since round 1. What do you expect to see here tonight, Regan?
Yeah, look, it's going to be a really great clash. As you said, it's got finals implications, and it is definitely the battle of the Sunshine Coast. We've got a packed house here, probably 500 people strong, and it's just going to be some great basketball all around. Just tuning in already to the comments, there's a lot of love out there for a lot of the boys on the floor. Eric McAllister getting a whole lot of love. I know most of Darwin basketball is tuning in to see Jameson play as well. So, look, a lot of people jumping on the stream, a lot of people in this stadium. It's going to be an epic battle.
If you are tuning in on the stream, whether it's on the YouTube channel or on Facebook, let us know who you are and where you're watching from so we can make sure that we do get you a shout-out. Got to give a shout-out to a couple of Sunshine Coast boys playing for the Rockhampton Rockets and tuning into this one. Shout-out to Nelson Collar and Jamal Roboto. I don't know who Nelson's pulling for. I know I have a sneaky feeling Jamal probably wants the Phoenix in this one. What do you think, Dave?
I think so.
Probably.
I'm with you.
He's got his brother and his dad there on the sideline, so really excited for this one. This is a game that whenever we have put the schedule together with Basketball Queensland, is something that we've always really tried to get on the schedule. Haven't been able to work it out till here tonight. They say that this is a huge rivalry game. You can tell by the crowd size, but also the energy in the stadium. And I think the boys out on the court are going to certainly show that in their play.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to throw your predictions in the comments as well. Let us know who you're going for, who you think's going to win. It's always interesting to see what the final result is and what people predict.
Couple McAllister going for 90s here. Jamie Hay checking in. What's up, Jamie? Let us know who you think's going to win this one as McAllister and Josh Tuetta.
I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but McAllister for 90 is going to be it's a long shot.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Anything can happen, Dave, right?
It could, but, Rip ball here.
Let's see. So Rip have the first possession at it. Jamerson going right to the rim. He's fouled. It's going to go against McAllister. And that's, that's not a great start for Phoenix, really.
No,
they need McAllister on the floor.
Yeah, we've had a couple of McAllister games where he's featured, and he's been in foul trouble. And I don't know if it's the NBN curse, but hopefully tonight he can stay in the ball game. And I think he's got to do a better job of just staying down, again, walling up and taking the contact.
And McAllister, I believe, started his QBL career here at Rip.
Yeah, I did. Yep. Yeah, a really capable player in this league, and hopefully he can stay out of foul trouble tonight.
Jamerson hits both free throws. Coming into tonight, Jaron Jamerson averaging 23 points a game.
Yeah, really sloppy way to advance the basketball. Good pressure from the Rip, I like it. Good intent early.
Jalen Bradley's been pretty impressive in the games that we've seen for Rip. Another foul called. That one's going to go against Zeke Meal.
Yeah, good action from the Rip early. 2 fouls, picking up 2 fouls, putting the Phoenix defense under pressure.
Referees for tonight's matchup, crew chief is Jacqueline Dover, and the umpires are Tony Caldwell and Warwick Brown. So pretty veteran referee crew out there on the floor tonight.
Very veteran crew.
Very veteran, yep.
Years and years experience between those three.
Few games under their belts as Bradley dumps it off. Louis Hilton will fire a long 2. That rattles home. Rip up 4-0. Meal will fire a 3 off the side of the rim. Louis Hilton, defensive rebound. Here comes Jemerson. Dumps it off for Izzy Tueta. They reverse it to Bradley. Bradley step back, top of the key 3. That's wet. 7-0 run to start for the Rip. McAllister from the wing. That 3 goes in and out.
Yeah, McAllister was certainly shooting the ball really well in the warm-up.
Good patience.
Good looking jump shot. So
nearly a turnover. Saving the ball, knocking the ball out of bounds, Malachi Mitchell. So Rip have 13 on the shot clock, up 7-0 early. Bradley has it. He'll fire a deep 3. That's good also. Jalen Bradley, back-to-back 3s, push the lead out to 10 for Rip.
yeah, and Coach Roberto is going to have to blow one. I know I can see him sensing if I get a bucket here, I might hang around for a little bit.
Neal working against Izzy Tueta. Gets inside the paint, flips one up. It's off the front of the rim. Izzy Tueta comes down with the rebound. Kicks ahead for Jemerson. Goes Euro step, left-handed layup, no good. Tip missed as well. Here comes Meal. Ahead now for McAllister. Good defense there from Josh Tueta. Roberto bank shot off. McAllister offensive rebound. Turnaround hook shot is good for Eric McAllister. And Phoenix are on the board. Izzy Tueta twisted his knee there. Looks a bit uncomfortable. Jemerson's jump shot goes out of bounds. Izzy doesn't look in a good way, does he, Dave?
No, he doesn't.
He's a tough guy. I know he's not going to want to leave the court.
And for the Phoenix, Johnny Darnell finished school now, has he? Or know that he was over in the States?
Backdoor pass kicked by Josh Tueta. Mitchell throws it up. McAllister catch and shoots off. Here's Izzy Tueta on the wing. Coming off the screen from his brother Josh. Skips it to the corner. Jemerson will fire from 3. That's good.
Yeah.
Jerron Jemerson pushes the lead out to 11.
Well, Fitzgerald's got to do a better job of closing out. No hand. Jameson says I can do that all day.
Darnell Roberto gets called for the foul going to the basket. Can't finish, but he'll go to the free throw line for a couple shots. A lot of Phoenix fans on the YouTube channel. Timeout called by Phoenix, so we're going to take one as well. 13-2 the lead for Rip over Phoenix in your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here at USC Sports Stadium. Darnell Robiteau at the free throw line for 2 shots. First one's up and good. And a pretty good timeout. You go down 11 early in the first quarter, Dave. You almost have to blow one, don't you?
Oh, you sure do. And again, Rip just came out. Again, just more focused. That's really all it is.
Well, Darnell Robiteau hit them both, so lead is 9-4 Rip. Jalen Bradley working on Meal from the elbow jumper off the front of the rim. Darnell Robiteau chases down the rebound.
I'm not sure if they really want to coming into ISO ball 3 minutes into the game, but I think they've got plenty of weapons on this Rip team, so I think they need to get the ball through hands. And
I think their whistle on the floor was a shot clock. I don't know if the shot clock ever started. So I think that's the referees having a chat to the score bench.
Yeah, they've been having a few issues with the shot clocks in the women's game as well. So obviously just getting used to the new 100-inch, probably even more than that, probably 100-foot bloody scoreboard that they've got here. So just having a couple of dramas towards the end of the women's game and following into the men's.
Oh, it certainly looks good, that's for sure. As Fitzgerald pass tipped out of bounds off of Jamerson. It's going to stay with Phoenix, 12 on the shot clock. Inbounds, Mitchell's baseline jumpers off the back of the rim. Another defensive rebound for Louis Hilton. Jamerson gets it in the block, working against Fitzgerald. Skip pass, tipped out of bounds by Robiteau. Hilton from the wing fires and hits. Gee, Louis Hilton showing the jumper here early. He's got 5. His team's up 12.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't think that's his standard game. So a couple of good hits for Hilton, who's got it going early.
Meal gets in the paint, dumps it inside. Stolen. Bradley comes up with it, kicks ahead. Here's Jamerson going right at the defense, pumps and finishes, and a lot of contact along the baseline. Meal, Hilton, and Jamerson all down along the baseline. Everybody all good, thankfully. The River up 14. Vern Robiteau gonna have to go to the bench early. CJ Massengale checking in for Malachi Mitchell.
And while wiping the floor, we'll have to give a quick shout out to Trudy Duncan checking in all the way from Darwin. Their boy Jameson, obviously quite a little local hero up there as well. A lot of Bundaberg people tuning into the stream today as well.
Awesome.
In the women's game in particular, a lot of the local Bundy talent moving down the coast to join in the QBL. So
yeah, well, there's talk up in Bundaberg that they might be returning to the QBL potentially, which would be excellent to see. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Phoenix have it with 6 on the shot clock. McAllister wing 3 off the back of the rim. Fitzgerald rebounds, hands it off. McAllister goes to the rim and misses.
Well, Johnny Massengale, he loves himself a little NBN. He knows when the cameras are on. He's been terrific every time we call a game for him.
Josh Tueta follows and puts it in.
I think for the Phoenix fans, they need him right now.
Captain Fitzgerald has it. Working against Louis Hilton. A lot of dribble, kicks it out. CJ Massengale gets it, pump fakes, goes right at the rim and lays it in. Josh Tueta backing down against Eric McAllister. Goes to the right-hand hook, shot's good, plus the foul. McAllister can't believe it, but that's his second personal also.
We've just had the question come through in the YouTube channel as well. Did the Brisbane Spartans women lose? And the answer is yes, they did. Their first loss of the season against Mackay Meteorettes with a 3-point buzzer beater to get the victory.
I can't wait to see the vision of that because Mackay's roof would have blown off with that one.
McAllister's going to stay in the game.
I'm sure that was his second personal.
No, it was absolutely his second.
Josh Tueta hits the three-point play. They're up 17, Rip. Darnell Robiteau splits the defense, kicks it out. Fitzgerald reverse to Massengale. Gets it on the deck, spins through the defense, misses the layup attempt though. It's a great move by Massengale. Here's James Griffin, Euro stepping, swatted away by McAllister. I think the netball's locker room tasted that ball.
Yeah, that was like in the AFL or the rugby league when they kick a conversion or a goal and it goes 20 rows back. Comes hard to find where the ball is.
Yeah, I could say McAllister took a little frustration out on that block.
Yeah.
Just a bit frustrated. 23-6, Rip up, 3:57 to go in the first quarter. If you guys are tuning in the YouTube channel or the Facebook page, let us know in the comments who you are and where you're from so we make sure we get you a shout out. Chris Can inbounds to Josh Tueta. Back out to Bradley now. 16 on the shot clock. Can will fire a three. Too strong. Fitzgerald with the rebound. Good pump fake by McAllister. Nice pass inside. Layup is good for Connor Ward. Jamerson throws it up. Josh Tueta with the catch. Can't finish with the left. McAllister D-board. Here comes Robiteau. Out to McAllister. Wing three is good for Eric McAllister. Deficit cut to 12.
Well, according to YouTube, McAllister's hitting 13 threes, so that's one. 12 to go.
Massengale through the contact. Here's Connor Ward now. Dumps it off for Massengale to lay it in. Good spark off the bench here for Phoenix and Connor Ward.
Yeah, it was good. And again, they're doing it through better ball movement, penetrating and kick. And, the Rip defense has looked a little shaky here in this last few minutes.
Jamerson gets in the paint for the easy layup. And he's been terrific since joining the Rip.
Yeah, and Robiteau's been really good too. He's done I'm really impressed with his poise in transition. He's making some good decisions, good reads.
That was a great reverse layup there from Robiteau. His team's down 10 though, with 2:15 to go in the first. Josh Tueta won't hesitate. It's too strong. Offensive rebound Can. Out to Bradley. There's a foul from Connor Ward. Fourth team foul on Phoenix. And Tyler Allen going to check in for Fitzgerald. Nice crossover from Bradley. Fires a long two. That's good.
Yeah, he doesn't worry about hitting a whole lot of rim. Johnny on his Jimmy.
Massengale from the wing. Off the front of the rim. Can comes up with the rebound. Now Bradley. Here's Jamerson working against Allen. Griffin gets to the basket. Bank is off. Here comes C.J. Massengale. He's fouled by Jerron Jamerson. Second team foul on Rip. Minute 37 to go in this one. It's been all Rip here. In the first quarter, they're up 12. They want McAllister inside. Louis Hilton fronting him. Darnell Robiteau steps back, fires a three off the back of the rim. Bradley gets the rebound. Floater is up. That's short. Contact inside, and Bradley's fouled. They'll go to the free throw line for two.
Yeah, for all those youngsters out there, terrific job of keeping a live dribble from Bradley, probing, keeping a live dribble, see what the defense gives you. And they all thought he was going to pull up for their jump shot. Snuck in another one.
Foul's called on Tyler Allen.
Certainly a very accomplished scorer. Crafty, because I think he's only 6 foot at best, right, Johnny?
Yeah, Bradley came into tonight averaging 21.6 points a game and hitting at a 36.4% clip from 3. From the free throw line, he is averaging 83.3% for the season. And he hit the first. Second one's good as well. Bradley graduated from the Oral Roberts University, the alma mater of our mate Cam Trigar.
Tyler Allen with a quick jimmy in trans.
Jamerson, good footwork, hook shot, misses. McAllister tips it to Roberto. Roberto gets right inside. Layup is no good, but he's fouled. That's a really nice recognition there from Darnell Roberto. Don't know what the defense was doing. No one shut down the paint.
No, not at all. No one picked up the ball, and he just was allowed to waltz in there, and he's like, oh, hang on, I might just keep going.
First one drops for Roberto. Second one's up. That's good as well. Feels like it should be more than 12, Dave.
Yeah, well, they've done a good job to bounce back here after that 11-0 start.
Jamerson, turnaround jumper, rattles home. Phoenix can hold for the final shot. They're down 14. Roberto swings it. They work it to Allen. Looking inside. Pass tipped out of bounds by Griffin. So Phoenix will inbound along the baseline with 4.2 seconds to go in the quarter. Massengale inbounds. Ward lays it in. Rip fell asleep there. They got caught sleeping. That's going to end the quarter. And a really nice finish there for Phoenix after getting down pretty big, pretty early. They're only down 12 heading into the quarter-time break.
Yeah, they did. They just settled, I think, well in the end, and obviously established a bit of a punch in the mouth in the first few minutes. But did a good job to settle. The only problem for the Phoenix is McAllister has 2. So just have to manage that in this next quarter.
Let's see what happens. It is the quarter-time break, so we're going to take one as well. 31-19 Rip up on Phoenix in your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Welcome back to USC Sports Stadium here on the beautiful Sunshine Coast. It's the Rip up 12 on Phoenix, 31-19. Looking at some of the statistics here at the quarter time, leading all scorers in the game. Jerron Jamerson, he's got 11 points, and he's been the real focal point for Rip along with Jalen Bradley.
Yeah, he certainly has, and so they should be there. Pretty dynamic duo. Izzy Tuitta bumped his knee earlier, but he looks like he's moving okay again. They've just done a good job of moving the ball, the Rip in particular, and I really like their energy in that for the majority of that first quarter.
Massengale offensive rebound and puts it back up and in. He's been good off the bench for Phoenix as well, made a real impact.
Yeah, he has, and you know, Ward and Massengale have been good as they've come in and given the Phoenix action early.
There's Jamerson, blocked by Massengale, but also fouled. So Jamerson will go back to the free throw line for 2 shots, where he's 2 of 2 already on the evening.
He's a tough cover. Jamerson, you know, can shoot the ball. He's got handy moves in the block. He's telling Jackie all about it. Now he's Massengale, that is sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Not happy with the call, but certainly looked like the right call.
Jamerson goes 1 of 2. 11 points to lead here for Rip. Massengale's open, wing 3 up. No good, tipped around. Here's Izzy Tuitta, kicks ahead for Bradley, steps into a 3, it's up and down. Jamerson saw it dropping from a while back. Oh, Ward had an easy pass, just lost the ball. Has to reverse it now. Roberto working against Louis Ilton, picks up his dribble, steps and flips it up, banks it home. Pretty crafty there from Darnell Roberto.
Yeah, I think offensively for the Phoenix, they've kind of struggled in this last couple of minutes. You know, they're just looking like they're, you know, getting into simple on-balls. I just think it's important. They obviously want to involve everyone, move the ball.
Here's McAllister, goes around the defense, leaves his feet, gets it out to Darnell Roberto. Nice pass inside. Massengale goes right at Tuitta, and he's fouled. So Massengale go to the free throw line for a couple of shots.
I don't know what they're getting excited about. It was a pretty open foul.
Pretty obvious, yeah.
Pretty clear foul. I mean,
we're a solid 40+ meters away,
right.
So.
Yeah, we're a little unsure about that, but anyway.
Beatty Hooper checks in for the first time this evening for Phoenix.
He needs a little more. Give him a rip.
Massengale goes 1 of 2. Josh Tuitta from the top of the key. Too strong. Massengale, the crafty veteran, can't finish the finger roll. Did a great job getting there.
Well, he did, but he missed Hooper.
Oh, there's the charge call.
He missed Hooper that he could have hit under the rim.
I think every Phoenix fan had their stomach in their throat there. They thought it might have gone against McAllister and been his third, but McAllister was clearly there.
Speaking of McAllister, the message has just come through on the YouTube channel. I don't think he is getting his 90 now.
All right. Couple shout-outs for D-Love, Lucian McGinnis. D-Love, holla at your boy.
Luda, big Luda. He's the man.
And Adam Kapitke, CJ winding back the clock. Can we, or will we see another vintage CJ Massengale performance? Massengale again fouled. He'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Starting to get a little bit heated down underneath as well.
Massengale getting in the face of Josh Tueta. Josh has been known to get under the skin of the opposition on the rare occasion, Dave?
It's his job. I don't think there was much in it.
No. It's just one of those situations. Big contact. It's a couple of times now Massengale's gone to the bucket and had that bump and that little bit of contact. So, look, the boys are just getting a little bit heated.
Yeah,
it's a tight game. It's an important game.
I think Massengale is just more a little bit of a trying to fire his boys up and get a little bit pumped up himself. I mean, they certainly need it offensively, shooting 38% to kick off the game. And as I said, offensively they're just in a bit of a funk. The first time they moved the ball, in the first quarter they had patches of good ball movement, but then they just get into on ball, which is a bit predictable, and so a bit easier to defend for the Rip.
I think that was Josh Tueta's second personal. Heading back to the locker room. I didn't see any technicals or anything dished out.
Might just be heading to the little boys or something, I think. There was nothing of it. The referees came together, discussed what was there. Tony Caldwell just having a chat to a couple of the players now, but yeah, there's nothing out of it.
Well, Massengale hit them both, cuts their Phoenix deficit to 10. Bradley has it on the wing, now Tueta. Working against Darnell Robiteau, steps into a long 2. Off the back of the rim, offensive rebound, Griffin goes right at the defense, and he travels. This is where Rip have a bit of a, this is where they have trouble when Josh Tueta needs a breather, or if he picks up a few extra fouls, they really don't have that depth in the front court. Our good friend Dan George suited up for the Rip a couple times. He's overseas at the moment, so he's not here. So you almost have Louis Ilton and James Griffin in your front court.
Yeah, and they can go to Zaramba too. I mean, Toby's certainly a handy player, a little bit towards the end of his career, but still seen plenty of action, really experienced.
There's McAllister. Baseline hook shot is good. They're going to feature, you got to expect them to feature McAllister every time now with Ilton marking him in the post.
Well, they have, and equally, I really like that Massengale's getting engaged. I mean, he really is looking for the ball. And I think equally, when you get guys that are engaged, the guys like Robiteau, etc., they got to feed them. Only 4 points for the Rip in this first 3.5 minutes, Johnny.
Yeah, and they're struggling. They're settling for outside jump shots a lot, Dave.
Last couple shots down.
There's Darnell Robiteau laying it up and in.
Well, there's been a lot of times when the Rip have just had nothing, no defensive presence whatsoever.
And Coach Nathan Arasi recognizes that. He takes a timeout. We're going to take one as well. 35-29 Rip up on Phoenix. And your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here at USC Sports Stadium. It's a 6-point lead for Rip on Phoenix with about 6:10 to go in the first half. YouTube channel looks like it's on fire. Glenn mentioning Jamerson as an MVP candidate. We were talking about this on the way up today, Dave. That MVP race for the QBL. There's a few names that you certainly would feature in there. What do you think, Jamerson is in there, or did he get here too late?
Nah, of course he's in there. He is terrific. Really versatile. And I think anyone with him in their team is almost a contender. Not if the Rip can't improve their defense, that's for sure. But Jameson's been terrific. Couple of Caps guys, no doubt, have been handy. Magne, Kadee. So yeah, plenty of good imports. Wiltshires back in the league this year. He's been good up in Townsville as well. So and then Rocky's got a full strength squad. So Bruce is certainly leading his team well, and now they're full strength.
It's going to be an interesting race for the MVP.
Yeah, Bairstow, I know it's hard because the team's record hasn't been that good, but he was averaging a 50-40-90, which is pretty impressive.
Louis Elton fouled, so he'll go to the free throw line for a couple shots.
Great crowd here on the coast.
Really good crowd.
Probably, I think, well, we sort of estimate this main grandstand's about 1,000, so they're probably getting up towards that by the time they add that in the baseline section, which is, terrific crowd. The problem is for the majority of our teams in the QBL is they literally haven't got the stadium space to get bigger crowds, where the USC is in one of the better groups.
Neil.
Well, the penetrations has been really good for Phoenix and really bad defensive for the Rip. There's just been too many times when guys in white shirts have come right down the middle and laid the ball up.
4-point game here. Phoenix have battled back. It down by that 4 points. Massengale looking inside, gets it to McAllister. Working against Hilton, backs him down, turns away, fading jump shot is up, no good. Another offensive rebound from Massengale, and he puts it up and in.
Yeah, I don't know why McAllister's settling for this jump shot all the time. I really want to see him bang more, and again, show there's some moves.
You think that has anything to do with the fouls?
Well, no, offensively, I just want to, offensively, sorry, he's settling for this fadeaway jump shot on Hilton, whereas I'd rather see him bang, get some fouls, get to the free throw line, put the Phoenix under pressure a little bit more.
Okay, I guess I'm asking, though, because he has the two personals, maybe he doesn't want to be too aggressive going to the basket, picking up a third?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
Okay, I'm asking.
He's a scorer.
Would have missed the first.
And then equally, when he does that, that's when the Rip defense can suck in, and that's when you've got greater opportunities to shoot, for the Meals and the Robertos and the Massengales of the world. So Fitzgerald comes back in.
Donnell Roberto getting a breather. Rip going to come out with a bit of. I thought they were going to come out with a bit of pressure. Neal gets inside, floater, no good. Jamerson rebound. Jamerson gets around the defense, shot's no good. But he's gonna go to the line for a couple shots. He's so strong drawing, Jamerson.
Well, Meal's a little dirty on the no call of the offensive foul, which is they probably missed it, to be honest.
He wanted that hook.
Yeah.
Jamerson hits the first one. Second one good as well. Lead pushed back out to 5 for Rip with 4:20 to go in the first half. Massengale couldn't handle the pass.
Yeah,
here's Jamerson.
Just a bad pass. Just because someone is ahead of the pack doesn't mean you just throw it to him. Jamerson hanging around at the back there. And again, Phoenix have got to get back in the game. They've got to clean up the turnovers.
Meal looking inside for McAllister. It's not there. Here's Fitzgerald, wing 3, off. Griffin rebound. Bradley gets it into Jemerson. Nearly turns it over. Izzy Tueta resets with 14 on the shot clock. Jemerson guarded by McAllister. He'll fire the 3. That rattles home.
Again, hand down, man down. I don't know why they aren't getting a hand up.
Jemerson's got 19 now. Beatty Hooper, though, responds with his own 3.
You like a little rage, Johnny?
Love rage. Jemerson fires a 3. That's no good.
I think she's going to count it, I think.
Yeah, they're going to count it.
And then a foul on Meal. Is that the call? I think.
9 from Phoenix. Is that Meal?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So in underneath. He had a bit of a rough one there for Meal. He kind of got... Rip play was just backing into him, trying to get his position in underneath. Meal fell over and then tripped up the player by accident.
And that's
And
also
got
the
the foul
Phoenix
for it.
5th team foul. It's going to send Griffin to the free throw line.
One of the very, very rare occasions where you've got yourself a 5-point play.
I don't know if I've ever actually seen live a 5-point play.
Well, you might have just jinxed it. So there you
Yeah,
go.
we did.
Right? I mean, you two. Seriously, mate.
Hey.
Huh? I've never seen one either, and because of you two.
Well, that was the first time I've even
running-
seen it attempted.
No,
I should have rephrased it. I'm sorry.
I have seen it attempted, but I've never seen one either. And now we won't. Whoa.
Pass too strong.
Red City on the baseline. Just under 3 minutes to play.
Leads back out to double figures for Rip with 2:40 left in this half. Getting ahead of myself.
Well, they really needed that. Sorry, Johnny. They really needed that 4-point play too to settle them down.
McAllister on the other end hits the 3. Bradley, good footwork, floats one up, doesn't fall. McAllister another rebound.
Again, just a really rush shot. I think they can be more patient.
Darnell Roberto met at the rim. He's fouled by Izzy Tueta. Feels like Darnell can get inside the paint anytime he wants.
Well, and you know what? With respect to Roberto, it isn't through amazing work. He's just walking in there. Like, defensively, the guards for the Rip have been really poor. They're allowing the middle penetration the entire first half. And Roberto's been good. Haven't seen him for a few years.
I remember we coached against
No, we don't talk about
Darnell.
We don't talk about the ones we lost, mate.
Yeah,
He
he definitely
did steal.
handed us a few L's.
He did steal a silver medal from us at Classics, but anyway, I'm not bitter.
Roberto's free throws cut the deficit to 6 for Phoenix. It's 50-44, Rip up. Minute 45 to go in the half.
Yeah, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists for Roberto. Done a good job.
James Griffin misses the layup, gets his own rebound and stripped. Ball goes out of bounds off of Griffin's foot. The captain, John Fitzgerald, getting his hands on the ball there. Here's Darnell Roberto with his team down 6, minute 30 to go in the half. Working around McAllister, dumps it off for Massengale to lay it in. Here's Jemerson trying to drive baseline. Gets to the rim and lays it in. Griffin gets called for the flop warning. Here's CJ out to Hooper. And then they're going to get Griffin for the technical. He had just received the flop warning. And then referee Jackie Dover going to call him for the second flop, and that's the tee.
Riggs, like, it's not like he intentionally flopped like a punk. Like, he was moving his feet and got knocked over. What do you, is that, do you reckon that's legit still?
To be honest, I didn't see the final play.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to pull it up again on replay now, except I've just missed it on the old YouTube. Look, I've never been a fan of the flop technical foul from the very beginning. The main reason being is it's very hard to determine what is a legitimate flop and what may just be a small amount of contact. But if you clip your own foot or you're off balance, you know, is that a flop or is that you're just Gumby? I mean, Gumby's here, so you know what actually draws the line as being a flop, and you know, I think that in particular was a pretty hard situation. Because you're right, there was definitely contact. So, you know, is the flop legit or, yeah, I don't know. I've never been a fan. All respect to the referees. It is a really, really tough decision and a tough call to have to make. I've never liked it.
I just think that was a no call and play. I don't think he was intentionally trying to do anything.
Jamerson turns it over. Roberto comes up with it. Lost it. That's got to be a travel. It is a travel. Darnell Roberto is a bit excited. He saw himself and CJ Massengale streaking down court.
Yeah, good energy from the Phoenix here. +6 in the second quarter, and a lot of it's been through Roberto's action.
Izzy Tueta guarded by Darnell Roberto.
Tueta's going to hold for one. He has 0 for 3, Tueta, in this first half.
Bradley spins. Fadeaway jumper is blocked. McAllister gets the board. Gets it to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald tries to skip it ahead to Massengale. The ball slipped out of his hands, and that's going to end the half. And a pretty flat end to the half, but it was a really exciting first half of action. A 3-point game, 52-49. Really looked like Rip was going to run away with it. A lot of credit goes to the Phoenix for staying the course, getting themselves back on track, and they only head into the big break down 3.
Yeah, they did, and they've just done a good job of primarily Roberto and Massengale have been terrific for them. And McAllister's chipped in as well, don't get me wrong. I think we kind of just expect what he delivers. And they've done a good job, and again, the Rip started tremendously, and they've kind of fell away a little bit here as we've gone to the first half, but they still have the lead, so they're really looking forward to the next half.
It was a great first half of action. We'll take a break. We'll come back with some halftime statistics and the second half of action here in your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here at the USC Sports Stadium. John Guarna with Dave Derwin and Regan Baker with the Nothing But Net Media crew. 3-point game at halftime, gents. We're talking a bit about the action. It was all Rip early, but Phoenix really seemed to be the better team in that half. It was just that slow start. It's only a 3-point game, so not much in it. Rip they have to find that fire they started out with. They were very passionate, really energetic. They seem to kind of plateau. What do they need to do to get back on track?
Well, if you look at it, the first 3 or 4 minutes was running through Bradley, and Bradley was hot. Let's just go back there and give that another crack. I mean, offensively they looked a bit funky. Only 3 shots for Izzy Tueta, who I think needs to be a bit more aggressive offensively, shoot the ball a bit more. But for me, the key was their bad defense. You know, Roberto sometimes with some good moves he penetrated, but also sometimes he just walked down the middle with no one in front of him. I think they mixed it up a little bit too. If I'm the Rip, I'd go a little 2-3 or 3-2 zone just to keep throwing some different looks at Roberto in particular, because you know he finished the first half pretty strong. I just wanted to. So he's got 15, 4, and 3, which has been really good for them. And him and Massengale were really good in that first half.
And Jamerson was huge for the Rip. You think if they didn't have Jamerson, they'd probably be in a bit of trouble now.
Yeah, definitely so. He's just been stellar out on the floor. He's been doing it from inside. He's been doing it from outside. And, you know, defensively, he's been doing a pretty damn good job as well. So, look, without Jamison, Rip would be in a little bit of a spot of bother. But at the same time, you know, this game's going to come down to defense, because offensively, you know, 52-49, relatively good scoring first half of basketball. But, I mean, let's be honest, neither team has really had a great defensive game so far. So, you know, 3-point splits them now. What's going to win the game? Better defense, getting those stops, because right now both teams are just kind of running up and down and getting points on the inside.
Yeah, I thought Phoenix really tightened up the defense after that slow start and that really poor first quarter, or first half of the first quarter, I guess.
Yeah.
Really did a good job forcing the Rip to be perimeter oriented, and I think that's where Rip may struggle a bit. Action is underway here, though, in the second half, and it is Bradley with it. Looking inside, Josh Tueta catches hook shot, rolls in. I know you love that hook shot, Dave.
Yeah, it's good action, and they kind of ran Bradley as a bit of a decoy on that set, and I just think they just need to get some other people involved. I mean, Jameson's obviously been terrific, 24 points, and Bradley's got 13.
Very close to an 8-second call. McAllister's 3 is strong. Loses it out of bounds. Here's Jamerson in the block, working against Fitzgerald. Leaves his feet, pass tipped and stolen. Here's Fitzgerald with it. Going right at Louis Ilton. Ilton fouls him with the block.
Remember, USC's special guest here tonight, Food Bank, our charity guests. You can still make donations. Check out the purple raffle tins going around. Pop your hand in your skyrocket if you feel a jiggle. Pull a couple out and drop them in. If you've only got a credit card, they take credit card as
Fitzgerald coming off the screen, rattles one home.
Good out of bounds for Fitzgerald, and they need him to equally get involved. He's been doing that for many years.
Bradley inside, Josh Tueta baseline jumper is off the back of the rim. McAllister defensive rebound. Darnell Roberto throws it up, lost it. Here's Bradley now for a Rip. Bradley's little teardrop rolls in.
Yeah, great screen from Tueta. Top of the key, and again Bradley's very experienced
Meals
scorer,
fouled
so he
by
does the rest.
Izzy Tueta there. Good little backcourt matchup. That's the second team foul on the Rip. Nearly 2 minutes into the third. Zeke Meal, 3 on the shot clock. He's better get a shot off. Steps into a 3 and drains it. That's Zane, sorry. No, it's Zeke. I knew it was Zeke. Bradley hits it as well. Good answer.
Who's she teeing up here? Jameson. What's the tee for?
Probably a bit of chat, I'd say.
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I didn't see anything, but I'm guessing it would have been a little bit of back chat.
Wow, like you get a warning first? Or? Unless it was a harsh comment, Regan, maybe?
Yeah, that's my assumption. There must have been some form of not very nice things said about the referee. It wouldn't have just been back chat, I don't think.
Zeke Meal threw it up. Fitzgerald, though, comes up with the steal, goes right at the rim and lays it in with the left hand.
The good sportsmanship there from Jamison kind of ended up coming in handy. He stayed back to help the Phoenix player up and just happened to be right in the good position there for the defense.
Jalen Bradley's 3's off. McAllister, big rebound. Phoenix can tie with the 2 or take the lead with the 3 on this one. Jemerson nearly came up with the steal. Robitaille recovers. Gets inside, hands off. McAllister loses it out of bounds. Izzy Tueta with 8 on the shot clock. Gets his feet in the paint. He's fouled. Goes against Darnell Robitaille.
That's a good little arm wrestle right now. Phoenix are doing a good job really being physical, fighting through over the top of screens and really trying to frustrate the Rip. Nice pass, Hilton.
And a good finish by Josh Tueta as well.
The Prince, sorry. According to the Rip man.
Jemerson kicked it out of bounds. No, they're not gonna, they reset the shot clock. 14 seconds for Phoenix. Baseline out of bounds. There's Fitzgerald along the baseline. Can't get the jumper to fall. Bradley grabs it. Rip looking to add to their lead. Louis Hilton from the wing. He drains another one. Louis Hilton has discovered his jump shot here today. Great pump fake from Meal. He answers with his 3.
Just a little bit of a technical issue down on the floor. The, I guess, southern end shot clock is no longer functioning. So he's going to have a bit of a break while we go and get some technical support to try and get that fixed up.
I don't know.
Might be an idea for us to have a little bit of a break, I think. It could be another couple of minutes before they get that issue sorted out.
Well, do they need it? That's the question. Because
for 24-second shot clock violation,
yes? Okay,
you have to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see what happens here. We'll take a quick break. 6 minutes to go in the third. It's a 4-point lead for Rip over Phoenix in your QBL Game of the Week. Presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. All right, we're back. We've got our shot clock back up and running. Someone pulled the power on the old shot clock, I guess, maybe on the other end. Who knows? But it's all sorted now. Pretty decent little break for both teams. No one really was in. No one really had a bit of momentum at all, really, going before that. So Jamerson is fouled. It's on the floor, so the shot won't count.
We got shout outs on YouTube for Rip Man to be the MVP. Thought you'd appreciate that one, Dave.
Yeah.
Ilton dumps it off for Josh Tueta. Fadeaway jumper's too strong. Fitzgerald hands off for Roberto. Now McAllister from the wing. Short. It's going to go, that foul looks like it's going to go against Izzy Tueta. With the body.
Yeah, good job,
Emil.
Good job, Emil, getting after it.
Fitzgerald will fire a jumper. That's wet. He's picking things up here in the third. His team's down 2. Flop warning on Mitchell. Izzy Tueta's jumper short. Darnell Roberto with it.
Yeah, Shrek and Gumby sure wanted the technical foul on that one. Giving it right to the referees on the baseline.
Fitzgerald from the wing, off the front of the rim. Bradley in the corner, goes inside for Josh Tueta. Goes to the left hand, no good.
Yeah, good offense from the Rip, moving the ball well. Tueta unlucky on the little lefty.
There's McAllister on the block, working against Tueta. Goes inside, hook shot is no good. Izzy Tueta skips ahead for Jamerson. No look pass is tipped out of bounds. It's gonna stay with Rip. CJ Maskingale checking back in.
Yeah, we gave Roberto a bit of love in that first half, Johnny, but he hasn't had a shot. And more a rebounder or an assist in this third quarter, so. The ebbs and flows of the game, but equally I think for the Phoenix, they didn't need to get him involved as well.
Jamerson splits the D and lays it in. There's Roberto, good dish for Maskingale to lay it in.
Well, he listened. Great move. Couple of great moves. Great spin. And then a nice dime.
Louis Ilton fouled. See who they give this one to, and good recognition there from Rip. Ilton had Meal on his back in the post.
I'm assuming McAllister, he looked the guiltiest.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't given any love to our Facebook viewers yet. It's got to give a bit of a shout out to Audrey and Paul McLaughlin tuning in all the way over from the City of Angels. Always have a couple of international viewers checking in.
Usually, yes, we do. A few others as well on the Facebook.
Yeah, Ian Tomata tuning in from the Gold Coast and Marshall Wilston from Townsville.
Chris Can checking in. Izzy Tueta going to get a breather? Three-point game, 3:40 to go in the third. Darnell Roberto from the wing. That one's well strong. Louis Hilton grabs it. He's streaking up court, finds Jemerson, goes right at the defense, misses. Now Phoenix kick ahead. Massengale has it. Phoenix gonna reset. They got 6 on the shot clock. Meal looks, and the ball is knocked out of bounds with 2.8 on the shot clock. Phoenix is gonna have to get this one in quick and the shot up even quicker.
Between both ends of the floor, I reckon we've got a team of floor wipers that could take on either of these teams as well. There's about 10 of them.
There's a few. Doing a good job tonight. The boys on the floor wipers. .2.8 on the shot clock, like we said, for Phoenix. Massengale inbounds. Fitzgerald loses it. Hilton comes up with the steal. There's Can wide open for 3. Hilton tips it. Pass is stolen. Meal has it 3-on-1. Roberto goes right at the defense to lay it in. 1 point game. 2:45 to go in the third. Louis Hilton again for 3. He's feeling it. Letting them know about it, too. Oh, what a move by Roberto. Can't get the shot to fall. Gets his own rebound. Out to McAllister. No look to Massengale. Corner 3 is up. Short.
5 of 5 for Big Louis.
Hasn't missed yet tonight, has he?
Certainly has his jump shot going tonight.
He's feeling it. He wants it, too. Bradley fouled from behind. It's going to go against Massengale. And Bradley will go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Yeah, no minutes for Glover so far tonight, boys. I like Glover. He gives him a good punch for a youngster.
Chetcherowski really taking and shortening that bench for this big game here versus the crosstown rivals.
He sure has. And 5-point lead for the Rip. And it just really does have that playoff vibe of offensively, both teams are trying to get the ball into the hands of their go-to guys, and defensively it's been really physical. I think Mill's done a good job of trying to just be an overall pest, and he's getting under the skin of some of the guys.
Massengale misses. He really wanted the call. Doesn't get it. Can finds Jemerson. Hands off for Josh Tueta. Little one-hander, no good. Roberto, another rebound. He's fouled in the backcourt by Can.
Yeah, nice little set there for the Rip.
It's going to be a long journey down to the other end for the 2 free throws.
That's it, 15
team in the bonus
foul.
now.
Yeah, good dump off and good patience from the Rip then on that set. Tueta missed it, but it was, again, just a really nice patient set. And that's the thing with Jameson. Only 2 points in this quarter. But he equally is unselfish enough to try and get his teammates involved.
Robichaud goes 1 of 2. It's a 5-point lead for Rip. Approaching the minute mark of the third. Bradley comes off a double screen. Pass is stolen. Massengale kicks ahead for Meal. Tipped out of bounds by Griffin. Good hustle there from James Griffin. Massengale pass tipped by Jamerson out of bounds. Neal gets inside. Scoop shot, no good, but there's a foul. Looks like that one's going to go against Jalen Bradley. So 2 shots for Zeke Meal.
Well, there's a lot of people here, but the crowd's been pretty lame. Let's just call it for what it is. Other than the rip man, you can't question his...
He fills an entire stadium by himself.
You can't question his intensity and passion, but you know, for a crowd of about 1,000, I'd like to see a little more engagement for the home team.
Still a 3-point game, 40 seconds to go. Bradley fouled by Beatty Hooper. That's going to put Phoenix in the penalty, and Bradley will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Bradley's been good so far tonight, but pretty quiet here to start the second half.
Yeah, he sure has, Johnny. 19 points. I think he had 14 in the first quarter.
He goes 1 of 2. It's a 4-point game now. Comes up with the steal on Meal. Here comes Jalen Bradley going right at the defense. Misses, though. Hooper can't handle the rebound. Darnell Robichaud comes up with it. Now Massengale. Phoenix can hold for the final shot. Massengale takes a bump and finishes the reverse. Now Rip will have the final shot of the third, up 2. Jamerson has to throw up a contested 3. That's well off. And that's going to end the third. It's 72-70. Rip up on Phoenix. Your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here for the start of the final quarter. Rip up 2 on the Phoenix, 72-70. Taking a look at the stat sheet, leading the way for all scorers in the game. Jerron Jamerson, 26 points. Also has 3 assists. Leading the way for Phoenix, Darnell Robitou. He's got 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists. He's been very good this evening for Phoenix. That third quarter was a 21-20 Phoenix outscoring the Rip by 1 in that championship quarter.
It'll be really interesting to see what they do with Massengale. I mean, he's been really good this year, especially in the games we've seen, that's for sure, Johnny. 16 points off the bench and really sparked them getting back into the game.
Phoenix ball on the baseline. Massengale inbounds, pass stolen. Tueta kicks it ahead. Jamerson reverse dunk with 2 hands.
Dombey, Shrek, and the Green crew are just losing it down on the baseline.
Here's Robitou. Bank shot off. Jamerson now top of the key inside for Josh Tueta. Baseline jump shot strong. B.D. Hooper with the rebound. Here comes Robitou.
Yeah, I think the Phoenix are going to be happy if they're just going to settle for those jump shots.
Air ball there from Hooper. Air ball. Hooper gets the quick hook after the air ball.
Yeah.
Hey?
Well, it's got the crowd. It's got the crowd engaged a little. So
Tueta working against McAllister. Goes to the baby hook and gets it to roll home.
I like it. Just nice and simple hoops right now from the Rip, and you just feel it's just such a grind. Both teams defensively getting after it.
Fitzgerald from the wing. Rattles that one home. That's a long 2. Izzy Tueta inside for Josh. Now Bradley. Izzy Tueta from the side. Gets a 3 to fall.
Yeah, that's what they need more of, Izzy Tueta being a bit more offensively minded. It's only his 4th shot.
Darnell Robitou loses the ball. Ilton comes up with the steal, and it's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul on Darnell Robitou. Louis Ilton, super active. And Ilton going to go to the free throw line for a few.
Might need a timeout here to have a little chat.
And there is that timeout taken by head coach Vern Robitou. We'll take a quick one as well. 79-72 the lead for the Rip on the Phoenix. New QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here at USC Sports Stadium. 7:45 left in the game. It's a 7-point lead for Rip on Phoenix. It's been a ripper of a start to the fourth for University of Sunshine Coast.
Yeah, it's been a ripper of a start for the Rip. Johnny, you've been brainwashed by the Rip man, mate. That's what's happened here in front of everyone here, sports fans. Ilton at the foul line. Surely he's not going to miss. I mean, he's hit everything.
Banked it home. He meant to do that. I heard him call it all the way from up here. Two of two. It's a 9-point lead now. We're going to get an offensive foul called.
Good call.
On Bradley.
I think Ilton. But if it was Bradley, either of them probably got away. Probably just set it into the screens.
Neal from the wing, that's well short.
That's just a really bad offensive set.
Massengale tipped it out of bounds. Everything's very perimeter oriented here for Phoenix.
And they just lack a bit of structure, you know, for me, around what they're trying to get after. Again, just get nice and simple too. You got Fitzgerald who's again started to get a little hot. Roberto has had little to no impact in this second half. You can just keep it simple and give the ball to McAllister and let him operate.
Jemerson fighting through the contact, finishes, and that's what Jemerson does for you. He's so strong, he can make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
That's well off, and again, one and done here for Phoenix. Jemerson putting on a show, getting to the rim, misses. There's a foul. Not sure who they're giving this one to. Looks like it's going to go against Josh Twetta over the back. But geez, Phoenix, as you said, Dave, not just a lack of structure, but they're not moving the ball. They're settling for threes or long twos every single possession.
Yeah.
Where they were successful was getting to the rim.
They got 7 minutes to go. They're only down by 11, so I don't know why they feel that they need to settle for long, out-of-control three-point shots. I mean, that one was a little bit of a better look there by McAllister, but still, why are you selling for threes? You get your big man inside, try and get some points underneath. You got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Jalen Bradley gets his feet set, and the net's wet. 86-72. Here's Roberto, fouled on his way to the rim by Louis Ilton. And that's better, at least. At least it's a bit of action going to the rim.
Yeah.
Not settling for jump shots.
Yeah, absolutely good. And that's what he did well in the first half, was probe. And timeout on the floor.
Timeout taken by Rip. We're going to take one as well. 6:17 to go in this one. Rip have pushed out to a 14-point lead. Your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Welcome back, USC Sports Stadium. Rip have pushed out to a 14-point lead. Interesting timeout there by Coach Arausi. I think he had a bit of momentum going there.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but he saw something. 14-2 start to the fourth, which has got a really handy lead here now for the home team. Roberto makes the free throw.
And Phoenix have to get a few stops here.
Just like to see, you know, Phoenix doing something a little different defensively to try and get back in the game here now.
There's a double on Josh Tueta, skips it to Izzy in the corner. Back to Josh now. Squares up with McAllister, jump shots up, off. Fitzgerald with the rebound, so there's a stop for Phoenix.
Better set, better defensive set that was, and a lot of that was Fitzgerald.
Offensive foul called on Fitzgerald. Really good job moving his feet by Izzy Tueta to draw that one. Well, it's just a forced play, though. I mean, I know you like the matchup. You got a bit of a size advantage.
Yeah, I agree. I just, you know, again, I think there's a little bit of pressing when he realizes they're down a couple, and he's just trying to will his team forward. But again, you got to sometimes trust the offense and trust your team.
Louis Hilton, bit out of control, recovers. To Izzy Tueta with 3 on the shot clock, has to fire. It's off the back of the rim.
Yeah, since the timeout, good energy defensively from the Phoenix. Another rush shot.
Hilton, good pump fake. McAllister gets called for the goaltend.
Well, I thought it looked pretty close with the naked eye, but none of the white guys, none of the white jerseys got too angry. So I guess.
Yeah, they didn't seem too fussed by it. It was definitely close.
Yeah.
Alley-oop for McAllister. He recovers. Allen's baseline jumper's off. Then McAllister gets called for the foul inside on Louis Hilton.
And that's just a frustration foul as well. Phoenix are just getting beaten down their end of the ball, down both ends of the floor at the moment, so that's just sheer frustration.
I think he just, sorry, the Prince just copped a accidental foot in the crown, in his crown. Louis Hilton, the Prince. I don't know what he deserved to be called the Prince.
Really looks like frustration settling in here for Phoenix. But he's a bit of jawing between the teammates and the bench.
But Hilton's been good. He's a good cat. Louis Hilton. He does a really good job for this Rip team.
Yeah, he's been great tonight.
19-6 for him.
Phoenix going to pick up some full court pressure here. Louis Hilton fouled on his way inside. Reaching called on Fitzgerald. That's the 4th team foul on Phoenix, down 14. Ripple inbound along the baseline.
Yeah, Connor Ward and Massengale sitting on the bench. I thought they were good in the first half, Johnny.
Here comes Fitzgerald. Bit of a head of a steam. Finds Meal, dumps it off for Allen. Layup is good. .12 game. Jemerson inside, floater. In and out. Hilton offensive rebound, blocked from behind, but they're going to get a foul on McAllister. He's going to get tossed in a second if he hasn't already.
I think that's 5, right?
I think it's 5.
Well, he thinks it's 5 anyway. I thought it was 4, actually.
I thought it was 4, yeah.
I think he just thinks it's 5.
No, it is 5. There you go. I
Okay.
was going to say, I thought it was 5.
Yeah.
He had his faults just before. The one down here was 4, where he
That's
just
right. Yeah,
threw
that's right.
Ah, yeah.
sweater to the ground.
I forgot that one.
Send the Jackal to the line.
Yeah, super frustration for McAllister there. It looks like there was a technical on the play as well.
Well, the McAllister fan club that was chatting to us before, he didn't get his 90, but
He didn't even get his 53 that they then reduced it to.
He finished with 10, 4 of 15 from the floor, 10 boards, and an assist for McAllister.
Also that massive swat.
And of course the massive swat. And I just felt they didn't give him the ball enough. Like I know he had 15 shots, but I think they can try and get him the ball in better spots. And he did go 2 of 7 from downtown.
Yeah, well, a lot of those were him looking for the ball and getting the ball in his hands and getting those shots up.
Yeah, just the lack of set structure from the Phoenix has really been a little bit of their downfall in the later half of this game, I think. You know, like you said, McAllister, fantastic player, but he didn't get the ball in the right spots in order to put it in the bucket. So, you know, if you don't have a set offense, then you're not going to get the points on the board.
Robitel, that's a shot clock violation. The Rip crowd can sense a victory coming. It's a 14-point lead. That's going to be a timeout taken on the floor, so we'll take one as well. 90-76 Rip up on Phoenix in your QBL game of the week.
We did-
3:43 left.
Sorry, Johnny. You did. Regan did say there was 1,000 wiper guys, and we'll just give a bit of love to the under 12 rep team, boys. Good job, boys.
Keeping it fresh.
Keeping it green and clean.
Pretty much now or never for Phoenix, isn't it, Dave? 3:30 down 14.
Yeah, I think it's never, but I think they're cooked, and they just, you know, again, this fourth quarter here, struggling to score. Plus 12 for the Rip.
Here's Jamerson. Neely came up with the steal.
And I think just, you know, for me offensively is just where Phoenix need to look at you know, themselves. I mean, just struggled to score. The last couple of sets have been pretty ugly. And equally, I think the Rip have done a good job defending in the second half. They certainly lifted defensively, communicated better.
Well, there's 6 on the shot clock. Here's Massengale checking in for Tyler Allen. 3:12 on the game clock, 6 on the shot clock. Fitzgerald inbounds. Meal has to get a shot off. Gets one up. He's fouled from behind by Jalen Bradley.
Good night.
I don't know exactly what they're complaining about. The call was made and the call was fair.
Yeah, I think that's just good night, Bradley, is what he was dirty about. Well, he was dirty about the call, but there was a whole lot of contact. I'm with you.
I wasn't talking about the Phoenix boys. The Phoenix boys were questioning something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that is going to be it for Bradley for the night, so Chris Cannon will check in. 3:05 left.
Yeah, he did a good job for them earlier, Bradley. I think he had 14 in that first quarter, finished with 23 points, shooting at a pretty good clip.
Yeah, 7 assists, 4 rebounds as well for Bradley. A couple of steals.
Well, it's going to take the Rip to 7 and 8, Johnny, tonight, assuming they can get it done.
Not counting it out yet, Dave. 3:05 left.
Righto.
12-point game. Come on.
Well, I just think they're hanging in there, but I just don't see it.
Get a few stops. Couple of buckets. Phoenix haven't really been able to string together stops consistently, or consecutively, I should say. Jamerson fouled by Meal. And again, good recognition by Rip. Meal can't handle Jamerson in the block, so you go right to him.
Yeah, I think refs have done a good job, I think, of controlling the game, and you know, the rivalry's real, and sure has been a lot of banter. I think if they felt like it, they could have thrown out a few more fouls and tech fouls, etc., but been well officiated.
Yeah, there's been a lot of niggle as well, and we saw, you know, a couple of chest ups early in the, I think it was in the first quarter even as well. So, you know, well and truly could have got out of hand, but I think every situation that they've needed to jump on, they have well and truly jumped on. And it's been well handled.
Yeah, I think, and Tuetta's, I think, had a marked improvement in the second half towards matching Roberto, or defending Roberto, sorry. So, you know, I think I'm pretty confident. I don't have the halftime paper sheets in front of me, but from memory, I thought Roberto had 15 and 4 at the halftime, and he's got 23 and 5 assists at the moment.
So Rip gonna work some clock here, approaching the 2-minute mark, up 12. Louis Hilton looking for the pass to Ken. It's stolen by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald hands off from Massaguel, who dribbles it out of bounds off his foot. Can handle the pass.
Can't is what you're saying.
Yes. Under 2 to go. 12-point game. It's not over yet.
It's got to be close though.
Well, I mean, Phoenix are hanging tough. Meal makes it happen on his own. 10-point game. Rip haven't been able to put the foot down just yet. There's Jamerson. Finishes through some contact. Fitzgerald for 3. That's off. And I think now we might comfortably say.
Oh, you might. I said it 2.5 minutes ago.
You said it ages ago. I'm comfortable enough to say it. I think it's over now. As Fitzgerald fouls Hilton. These are going to ice it here. Minute left. 12-point lead for Rip. Coach Roberto going to take a timeout. Let's keep it here, though. Let's look at the statistics with about a minute to go in this game.
Sure thing, Johnny. After my little page refreshes.
Get a little bit of a refresh? All right.
Yeah. So, yeah, Hilton 21 and 7, been really good. Jamerson 33, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Izzy Tuetta 4 points, 8 dimes. Josh Tuetta 11 and 7. Bradley fouled out with 23 and 7 assists. did a good job. And only Griffin gave them any love on the bench, 1 point.
Yeah, Coach Rousey really shortening his rotations, only playing 7 tonight. Well, up until this point at least.
Yeah, and for the Phoenix, Meals finished, well, he's at 12. Roberto's got 23 and 9 rebounds. He's been, really good. McAllister fouled out, 10 and 10. Fitzgerald, 8 and 6. And Massengale off the bench had 16 points.
Looking at the out-of-town scoreboard as well, Cairns up pretty big on Logan, 98-77 with a few minutes to go in that one. So if we look at the ladder, Dave,
and Mackay's up pretty handsomely over Spartans, about 20 as well.
So if the results stay as they are, Rip will jump ahead of Phoenix at 7 and 8. Sunshine Coast will drop down to 7 and 9, the Phoenix that is. And Rip will be in the 8th spot. Logan looking like they're going to lose that one to Cairns, drop to 8 and 8. So the 7th and 8th spot are really up for grabs. And then you have Rockhampton at 10 and 5, Mackay at 10 and 5, Cairns will be 12 and 5, Mackay will move to 11 and 5. So it's really a battle for that 7th and 8th spot, and Logan's loss really helps the two teams trailing directly behind them here playing tonight, Phoenix and Rip.
Yeah. I think really you could probably say the top 6 is locked and loaded, right? They might change a little bit, but...
Well, spots might change a bit, but
those 6 guys, I think, are in there somehow.
For sure, I'd have to say for sure.
Yeah.
And I think, Rip made their QBL Finals debut last season. Certainly was a goal of theirs this season, and this win will get them a huge way into returning to the finals for a consecutive season. Pretty good win for Rip here tonight. I thought they started off excellent. They got a little rattled in between that first quarter and into the second half. But I think they showed their poise and showed their mettle to really grind out an 11-point. It's an 11-point lead now, but look like it'll be a nice win for them.
Yeah, I think I couldn't agree more. And they're the kind of team, the Rip, where you sneak into 7 or 8. Brisbane, Townsville. Certainly Rip are dangerous, right? I mean, I don't think an 8th is. I think they've got a good talent. They just have had guys in and out a little bit throughout the year, and then obviously Jameson's a late acquisition. But certainly, I think anyone in that 8 is capable of making some noise.
It's going to be interesting. We've only got 2 more weekends after this one of the QBL before the finals hit. Jamerson gets the acrobatic finish plus the foul. But you got to think even Brisbane, with that loss last weekend to Townsville, showing their human side of things.
Yeah,
Obviously,
sure.
It wasn't a full squad. They're still missing. They were missing at least Will Magnay and Ben Volkman, a couple of players who were really impressive for Brisbane and led them out to that undefeated start to the season. And you can't count the 2-time defending champion Townsville Heat out either.
No, and the Rollers have been good this year as well.
Rollers have been good. Cairns is on a bit of a roll.
Yeah.
You cannot ever count out Mackay. And Rockhampton probably were the preseason favorites. So it's anyone's up for grabs, really, for anybody. But the Rip have firmly put themselves in position to return to the finals with a 98-82 win over their crosstown rival Sunshine Coast Phoenix. What else can we say, guys? Really, Regan, a very good win for Rip, and they'd be super excited to be back into the 8 this late in the season.
Yeah, definitely so. Like you said, they made their debut in final series last year, and they would have come into this year really hoping to continue that momentum. And, you know, with an ever-changing roster and a couple of hitches there, here and there throughout the beginning of the season, they'll be really happy to see themselves back in that top 8, and that'll just give them so much more momentum and drive into the final 2 weeks to make sure they keep in that top 8. So a really great performance here from the Rip. Phoenix, look, they had 3 quarters of really good basketball. They just need to work on that offensive structure a tiny bit, because I think that's what let them down. But a great performance and a great game to watch.
And if we look at the matchups next weekend, a couple of important games. You have Mackay taking on the Brisbane Capitals in Mackay. Rip are here at home on Friday against the Southwest Metro Pirates. Phoenix are on the road on Saturday taking on Logan, and Rip again here at home taking on Ipswich. So really, really important games, particularly at Sunshine Coast Phoenix Logan Thunder game next weekend. That'll be a huge one, guys. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up for us here. I want to thank everyone who's tuned in on the YouTube channel and on the Facebook, and thanks everyone for leaving your comments and letting us know what you think. I got to thank Chris Sieber on the camera. I got to thank Regan Baker on the production and commentary. Got to thank Dave Derwin on the commentary as always. Want to thank James Bowman and the Australian Sports Network for all their graphics and technical support. And don't forget, next week, the QBL Game of the Week is the Southern District Spartans hosting the North Gold Coast Seahawks on Saturday. That's a 6 and an 8 p.m. tip. We'll see you guys then for another presentation of the QBL Game of the Week by Nothing But Net Media. See you guys.